Hey, welcome everybody to the CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to Game 1 of the 1976 four-game series between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees at Fenway Park. It's the Boston Red Sox who are one game ahead in the standings, and New York wants to change all that. So we're going to see what happens here. It's going to be Louis Tiant versus Ed Figueroa. And Louis Tiant in our replay is 12-7 with a 3 ERA. He will be facing the Yankees lineup. Mickey Rivers in center field. Left fielder is Roy White. Catcher Thurman Munson, the captain. The cleanup batter is Chris Chambliss at first base. The DH is Carlos May. Batting sixth is Greg Nettles. The third baseman. Batting seventh is the right fielder Oscar Gamble. Batting eighth is Willie Randolph, the second baseman, and the shortstop is Jimmy Mason. For the Red Sox, it's going to be Burleson at short, Doyle at second, and Flynn in the third hole. Batting cleanup is Carl Yastrzemski, who's playing first base. The left fielder is Jim Rice. The DH, Cecil Cooper. Right fielder is Rick Miller. Third baseman is Butch Hobson. And final, ninth place is Bob Montgomery, the catcher. We're right about to get started. The pitch from Tiant to Mick the Quick. And this is inside pitch baseball. You read the red, then the white. It's a 6-5. That's a potential home run on a 16. It won't be. So we're going to roll off the batter's card. That's a 5-1, and that's driven to right field. Rick Miller's out there. Let's see what happens. We're going to have to check it out, because that's a 9. We rolled an 11, and he's a righty, and that's going to be a ball that drops in there, and it gets by Miller, rolls all the way to the wall, and Mick the Quick, the speedster, around second, going for third. Here's the relay from Doyle, and he is safe at third base. So it's a triple for Mickey Rivers to lead off the game. And we are stepping to the plate is going to be Roy White. Roy White's a switch hitter. And Roy White is batting .320 in almost 400 bats with 7 home runs and 19 stolen bases. All right. So here goes Louis Tiant. The Red Sox are going to bring the infield in. Actually, you know what? They're going to play the infield back. Red Sox are going to play the infield back. Here goes. 1-5, and that's wild. A wild 13, and he only has a wild pitch on a 1. So we're going to roll again. And it's a 2-6, and that's a range play. Range play off of Roy White. That's a 5-4 and a 1. A 5-4 is a line drive center field. On the run is Lynn in the gap, and he runs it down. And this is going to probably be deep enough for Mickey Rivers to score. We're going to see, and he does. Sacrifice fly. Mickey Rivers tagged up on that. But it's a line out to center field, and it's going to be an RBI for Roy White. 1-0 Yankees, just like that. Inside pitch baseball. Pitch from Tiant to Thurman Munson. That's a 4-2, and that's a potential strikeout. And 11 will not be a strikeout. So we're looking off Munson, a 2-4, and that's lifted to center field. Can of corn for Lynn. 2 down. That's a 6-2. Off of Tiant's card. That's a K4 against Chambliss, and that is a strikeout. Chambliss down swinging, and that retires the side, but the Yanks pick up a run on a hit, that big triple by Mickey Rivers to lead off the game. And they lead at 1-0, go to the bottom of the first. I'm going to take 1 second here. I want to see if I can share this link. Try to share this link, see if it pops up for me. It does. Okay, great. So I'm going to try to share it here. And quickly. Hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's following all the CDC guidelines. I see there's a spike in a lot of the states that opened up very quickly, and they're seeing a spike in cases, and now they're talking about having to shut down again, re-shut down, and that will be the ultimate disaster. If you need to re-shut down, that definitely will be the ultimate disaster. So that they definitely didn't want to do that. That's for sure. Let's see. And it's going to be Yanks, Boston, live. All right, so let's get back to the sounds of the crowd and of the ballpark. I love to have that in the background. Let's do that. And here goes. We should be good. There we go. All right. Rick Burleson leading it off against Eddie Figueroa. Eddie Figueroa is 10-9 with a 2.49 ERA. That's a 5.4. 5.4 is an error on a potential error on a grounder. 19 is not going to be an error on a grounder. 55, that's popped up. And second baseman Randolph under it. One up and one down for Ed Figueroa. Denny Doyle is next with a 5.2. That's a potential strikeout, and a 7 will not be a strikeout because that's a -1. So we're going to look off Denny Doyle's card. Any questions that you may have about inside pitch baseball, you can ask me. I'm not the supreme expert, but I know a little bit enough to maybe have an opinion on a few things. That's going to be a blank, so we're looking at that should have been. We should have been looking off Denny Doyle. 3.5, and that's going to be a question mark center field. So that's a drive to center field versus a righty, and that's going to drop in there. And not only that, that's going to actually roll away from Rivers, and this Doyle is going to go for 3. Here's the relay, and he is safe at third base. So a 1-out triple. Wow, what a way to start off the game. 2 triples in the first inning so far. So that was a 3.5 off Doyle. That takes us to star line 8, and that was driven, and that was going to be got past. It got past the center fielder Rivers, and it went for a triple. So 2 triples in the first inning. And the Yanks, in this case, are going to bring the infield in simply because they're ahead. They are ahead. They're going to bring the infield in here. 5.5. That's a ballpark result. Ballpark result. See what happens. Ballpark 31, and that says base hit. The run's going to score, and now Lynn is going to try for second. Perhaps he may try for second. We don't know. And he changes his mind, does not try for second, goes back to first. Game is tied. Fred Lynn singles home. Denny Doyle 1-1, bottom of the first. We're playing for the first place in the division. 1-3 off Ed Figueroa. That's versus a righty, Carl Yastrzemski. That's going to be a blank. And that's a 3-1, and that's going to be chopped to second. Randolph charges. Sidearms it to first, then gets Yastrzemski for out number 2. Next is Jimmy Wright. That's a 2.5, and that's a potential strikeout, and it is. Ed Figueroa strikes out Rice to retire the side. Take a little sip of Bai antioxidant cocoa fusion. I'm addicted to this stuff. My daughter got me hooked. It's going to be Carlos May leading it off against Luis Tion. Top of the second, it's all tied at 1. 4.5 is a blank. And a 3.6, and that's going to be star line, center field. Freddie Lynn. 1 away. Greg Nettles steps in the box. Greg Nettles is batting .286 with 17 home runs. That's a 1.4. That's an error on a throw, and it's a 2-1, and a 1 is going to be a fly ball to left. That's a 2-2, and that's a potential walk, and an 8 is ball 4. Oh, -3. Hold on. That is an 8. That is still a ball 4, but barely. Wow. They didn't walk many batters, it seems, at Fenway Park. So Gamble's on at first. He's a 2 attempt. I'm surprised that Tiant doesn't allow for more base stealing with that motion that he had. Willie Randolph with 2 outs and Gamble on at first. That's a snake eyes. That's a blank. We roll off of Willie Randolph's card, and he lines one base hit past the glove of Denny Doyle into right center field. Going to third is going to be Oscar Gamble. First and third. Jim Mason now, right hitting shortstop. That's a 5-3, and that's a range play. Range play ballpark. That's a 3-4. It's a star line 2, which is a fly ball center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. So Lynn doesn't get to it. And will it be a wait a second, a 3-4? Oh my goodness. He does not catch that ball, 3-4, and that drops in for a double. Jim Mason. No, it was ballpark. 3-4. Star line 2 is it's an out, so he may get a double out of it. Let's see. And he does not, so it's going to be a single with Randolph. Lynn, let's see what kind of arm Lynn has. Lynn has a 0, a double to center, going from first to, not home, first to third on a single to center. And it's 1, so it's he needs a 3. And he gets it. So Randolph goes to third on the single. So it's going to be an RBI. Do that again. RBI single by Mason. The Yanks regain the lead 2-1. Luis Tiant against Mickey Rivers, 2-1. That's a blank. Rivers a 4-2, and that's a ground ball and through into left field. 3-1 Yankees. RBI single for Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers is going to try to steal. And a 6, he gets his lead. And there he goes, and he is thrown out by Montgomery. Bob Montgomery lets it fly and guns down Mickey Rivers. Oh, wait, there's a runner on second base. Blah, 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 blah. Wait a second. Mason should have gone to third on that. Let me back up. Mason should have gone to third, and then Rivers gets caught stealing, and that retires the side. All right. Yankees lead it 3-1. Let's see Mason. I got to check something out here because that was an S6. Mason is a 2. No, he's going to stop. I don't think he's going to S6. He's a 2. Well, first to third. No, so okay, we got to back up. We got to replay that. There was a runner on second. He was not able to go to Rivers is going to single. And Mason's going to stop at second. So there is no attempted stolen base. Roy White's the batter. It's a 2-2. It's a potential walk. A 19 won't be a walk. So we're rolling off of Roy White's card, a 6-2, and that's a ground ball and through into left field. Let's see if Mason can score here. We're going to roll 2d6. We want it to be low, and Mason should score on the S6. The score, he needs a 3, and he's going to get that. He's going to get that for sure. So now Rivers, let's see what Rivers does, a 5. Rivers was 2 with 2 out. He needs a 5 to go to third on the S6. So he's going to get there. So it's going to be an RBI single, first and third for Thurman Munson. And it's that was Thurman Munson's up. 4-1 the score. Roy White's going to try to steal. And a 4, he gets it. There goes White, and he is safe at second base. Stolen base for Roy White. Let's double check. We got that 4. And his attempt was a 4. So he steals second. Second and third for Munson now. Here's the pitch from Tiant. It's a 6-5, and that's a potential home run, a 6 against a righty. We're going to look at Thurman Munson. We're going to have to roll for Munson. Here goes. A 9 or less, and that ball's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Lynn and Rice to the track. That's out of here. 3-run home run for Thurman Munson. Yanks lead at 7-1 now, and that's going to be it for Tiant. That's going to be it for Louis Tiant. He's done, and this is early for him to be done. This is early. Let's see how many batters he's faced. Let's take a quick look at the box score. Wow, that 3-run homer just shocked the crowd here at Fenway. So he's allowed 7 plus 7. That's 14, and he's a 13 in that section. So we're going to look at the fatigue and try to get at least through this inning. There's 2 outs. That's a 4-4, and that's a potential strikeout. A 15 will not be a strikeout. So we're rolling off with Chambliss. And a 3-5 is a star line 1, which is a fly to left. And that retires the side. But the Yanks pick up 6 runs. Holy smokes. And they lead it by a score 7-1, just like that. All right, so it's Ed Figueroa versus Cecil Cooper, 4-3. That's a potential walk, and the 3 will not be a walk. So it's a -3 at Fenway Park. So it's a 4-1, and Starline 5, which is chopped to short. Mason waits back, now charges, fires to first, and in time to get Cecil Cooper, 1 away. Ed Figueroa to Rick Miller at 6-6, and that's a potential error. A 1 will be an error. Just have to see who it's to. A 4-1 pop-up, and that should be a drop pop-up. Drops the ball, and then it's a 1. Okay, 2 outs. Otherwise, 1 base if less than 2 outs. So it's a 1-base error. It's a drop pop-up by the second baseman, Willie Randolph. E4 must have taken his eye off that ball, and Rick Miller's on at first. Butch Hobson. Snake Eyes is double question mark. 15 will take us to Butch Hobson's card. And that's a 3-5, which is a ground ball to shortstop. That's a 4 double play. And that's a, with 1 out, 4 double play. What did I say? 3-5 was a ground to short. 6-4-3 double play. Inning over. The Yankees turn it. Mason to Randolph to Chambliss. Carlos May leads it off against Louis Tiant. Louis Tiant is in the fatigue zone. We want to squeeze a little bit more out of him. It's very early in the game. 3-2, that's a blank. Carlos May, that's a 5-1, and that's a grounder first. Trying to squeeze just a little bit more out of Louis Tiant because otherwise I'm going to run into issues. It's a 5-5, and that's a blank. Greg Nettles with a 1-5er, and that's popped up right side. First baseman Yastrzemski makes the catch, 2 down. We're in the top of the third, 7-1 Yankees. Yankees scored 6 runs in the second, capped by a 3-run homer by Thurman Munson, the captain. 2-3. 2-3 against a lefty is a star line 4, which is a grounder to second base. Doyle throws out Gamble, and that retires the side. Bob Montgomery against Ed Figueroa. That's a 6-4, and that's a ballpark result. And a 1-3 is a little ground ball and past Randolph. So Montgomery goes the opposite way for a single. He's on at first. Rick Burleson with a 4-6. That's a blank. And a 5-3 is a question mark 9. We rolled a 5. Question mark 9 is going to be line down into the corner. Roy White after it. That's going to be a double. And we are going to hold up down by this much. We're going to hold up on Montgomery. Danny Doyle. It's a 3-2. That's a blank. Second and third, nobody out. 6-4. and that's a ground ball to short. Run will score on that. 7-2 now. Freddie Lynn, 1-6. That's a potential walk of 16. Will not be a walk. So we're rolling off of Lynn. 4-1. That's line and caught by the leaping Randolph at second base. And this may turn into a double play, perhaps. Run around third. No. 0-4. Carl Yastrzemski. That's a 6-2. 6-2 is a potential home run. Figueroa is a 1. Carl Yastrzemski against a righty. We're looking for 16 or less. And that deep drive to right field. Back goes Gamble to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Carl Yastrzemski with a 2-run shot makes the score 7-4. So Jimmy Rice now. 2 outs. That's a 6-6. That's a potential error. And a 5-1 is a comebacker. An 11. Oh, nice stab by Figueroa and throws out Rice, and that retires the side. Louis Tion is still in there. Again, he's fatigued. That's a 1-4. That's a potential error on a throw. 17 won't be an error. 1-6 fly ball center field, 1 out. Randolph flies out to center. Lynn with a nice catch. It's a 2-1. That's a blank. Jim Mason with a 2-5er, and that's line base hit right field. Frozen rope off the bat of the light-hitting Jimmy Mason. Mickey Rivers is up next. And I think we can bring in somebody already here. Let's take a quick look at the box scores of these games to see who the Red Sox were using at this time. I have the actual roster available to me, but I do also want to. Bill Lee was the guy that they brought in, but Bill Lee, yeah, you know what? We're going to bring in Bill Lee. He pitched in this game, and he's a guy who's going to kind of give him some innings here, get him until at least the 6th or the 7th, so I can bring in the real relievers. So Bill Lee's coming in. Bill Spaceman Lee. Oh man, how I remember him. He was a character and a half. So Lee's in there. He's going to face Mickey Rivers with Mason on at first. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-6. That's a potential walk of 14. Will not be a walk. So we're rolling off Rivers, a 5-1, and that's a question mark. That's driven down the line, pulled down the line into the right field corner, and that's going to drop in there. That's going to score Mason. Around second is Rivers, and he's going to try for third. The relay from Doyle, and not in time. The second triple of the day for Mick the Quick. Yanks are up 8-4. Infield in this time for the Red Sox. Here's the pitch to Roy White. That's a 1-6. That's a potential error. 1 will be an error. Question is on who? 2-3. That's a ground ball to third base, and he bobbles it. And failed error. He boots it, and everybody is safe. Rivers will score. E5. Butch Hobson. Usually, I say very good third baseman. Good hands. Sure hand fielding third baseman. Bobbled that ball and couldn't get a grip on it. Roy White's on at first. The Yanks pick up 2 runs here in the top of the 4th. It's a 9-4 ball game now. Louis, where's Bill Lee? What did I do with Bill Lee? Damn it. Okay. Bill Lee was in there, but let us. I don't know that I brought Bill Lee's card in, so I'm going to quickly replay those last two outs. So I'm going to quickly replay that. It was Bill Lee who came in to face Rivers and we're going to replay that because we pulled Bill Lee's card, but we didn't put it into place, and I was kind of playing fast. So it's a snake, guys. That's a question mark, a 19. And a question mark 19 is going to be off Mickey Rivers. It's a 4-5, and that is a ground ball first base. Not going to be a it's going to be a play at first base only. So it's a, what did I say, 4-5? 4-5. That's Yastrzemski takes it himself. Moving to second is Mason. Score is still 7-4. And it's a 6-2, and that's a potential walk of 14. Will not be a walk. So Roy White is going to swing away on his card, and against a lefty, that's driven in the gap, and running it down is Lynn, and makes a nice running catch to rob Roy White of a potential double at least. All right, bottom of the fourth, still 7-4. Ed Figueroa 3-3, and that is error on the throw, and that's most likely an error. 2-5, fly ball left field, no throw, so no error. Rick Miller next. Pitch from Ed Figueroa. That's a 1-3. That's a potential. Oh, no, that's a blank. We're looking off Miller. And a 5-1 off Miller is fly to right. Gamble towards the line and chases it down. Butch Hobson. Not a 4-3, and that's going to be a potential walk of 5. Will be ball with a righty. No, will not be a walk. And it's a 1-6. That's lifted to left. Out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Munson leading it off against Bill Lee, 4-1. That's a blank. And a 5-4 is a line out center field. Right there's Lynn. Chris Chambliss is next. Yankees lead at 7-4. That's a 6-2, and that's a potential walk at 10. Will not be a walk. Off of Chambliss's card, a 4-5, and that is a little ground ball and through the right side into right field for Rick Miller to play. Chris Chambliss on with a single. He's on at first. Carlos May. That's a 5-6. That's a blank. And a 4-2 is, that's driven to left field, and the gap is Rice and makes the catch. So Meg went the other way, lined it, but Rice was right there to make the catch. And now it's Greg Nettles. 3-3, and that's a potential K, and an 8 will be a K, and that retires the side. Ed Figueroa versus Bob Montgomery. 7-4 Yankees, 2-1. That's a range play ballpark. It's a snake eyes double, and it will not be a catch. Will not be a catch, so that's going to drop in front of White. It's going to get by him. And going into second base with a leadoff double is Bob Montgomery. Six. Potential error. We got a 6, so it could be an error. 4-2, fly ball left field. Will not be an error. Right there is White. Makes the catch. Doyle. 5-3 is a tired single, but let's see Ed Figueroa here in the 5th. Is he tired? He's faced 19 batters. He can face 32, so he's nowhere near being tired. So it's a 5-3. That's going to be a blank. We're looking off Doyle. 2-2 is lined and caught by the third baseman. This, with a runner on second, this could turn into a double play, potentially. Runners on second, third baseman. We need a 2. Oh, and just missed it with a 3. It's a line out 5, L5. Nice catch by Greg Nettles. Cat-like reflexes over at third. Heck of a third baseman, that Greg Nettles. All right, score is 7-4. Boston is up here in the bottom of the 5th. We're playing inside pitch. This is for first ball. If the Yankees can hold on to this game, they'll be tied for first with the Boston Red Sox. Ed Figueroa versus Fred Lynn. Fred Lynn in our replays batting .321 with 9 home runs. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-5 against a lefty. That's going to be a star line 2, and that is a fly ball. Mickey Rivers settles under, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Bill Lee is in there. Let's see how many batters Bill Lee has faced. Bill Lee has faced 6 batters, so he still has a few to give. And it's going to be Oscar Gamble leading it off. It's a 5-4, and that's an error on the throw. 18 will not be an error on a throw. And it's a 3-1 ground ball. Second base Doyle up with it. Throws out Gamble, 1 away. Randolph, 1-5. Ballpark, see what happens. That's a 5-3, and that's driven to center field, and that drops in there. And Randolph is thinking about 2, and he is safe. 1-out double for Willie Randolph. Stretched it into a double. Next is Jim Mason, light hitting shortstop. Jimmy Mason, 4-5. That's at the ballpark. And a 2-1 at the ballpark, and that is a star line 3, which is a ground to the third on a 3. And Randolph will, can he beat that 3? No, he cannot, so he's going to hold. 6-3, runner holds. Two outs, and it's Mickey Rivers. I had to replay a second triple of his because of an error I made. I never brought in Bill Lee's card officially. I put him into the game, but I never brought in his card, so I was using Tiant's card. That's a 3-2, and a 3-2 is a range play. We're going to use that 4, and it's a 1-2, and that's going to be a ball hit to third base. Will Hobson get to it? That's the question. And Hobson does not get to it. That's by Hobson. So a 1-2 is a single past third base. Will Randolph score? He needs a 5, and he's a 3 + 1. He will not score. They're going to hold him. He needs a 5, and he does not get it. He only gets to a 4 with a +1 for being 2 outs. Roy White, first and third, 2 outs. Bill Lee. Now, Bill Lee may have reached his max, so he may be in the fatigue zone. And Bill Lee will be in the fatigue zone. Yes, he is. That's a 6-5, and that's a potential strikeout. And that's strike 3 on Roy White. Bill Lee strikes him out with the curve. That retires the side. 7-4 Yankees, bottom of the 6th. Ed Figueroa versus Carl Yastrzemski. 4-5, that's a potential strikeout, and 11 is not a strikeout. So we're looking at Yastrzemski's card. A 1-3 is lined and caught by Chambliss. Right place at the right time for Chris Chambliss. That's a 3-1, and that's a potential K, and a 7 is a strikeout. Jim Rice. Oh, wait, -3. Yep, is a strikeout. 2 outs. Cecil Cooper. That's a 5-6 range play. That brings up a green die. Oh, and that's going to be a base hit no matter what. And that's past the second baseman, Randolph. Single for Cooper. 2-out single for Cecil Cooper. A ball that Randolph was not going to get to. 5-5, and that's at the ballpark. And a 4-1 at the ballpark is star line 4. And a 2 is a fly ball center field. Mickey Rivers under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. We're going to check again. We know that Lee is tired, and Figueroa still has a couple innings to go, so he's good. It's going to be Thurman Munson. What's Thurman Munson done in this game today? Mickey Rivers has 3 hits in this game. Munson is 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs. That was that home run. That was Munson's 12th home run of the season. Munson versus Lee. 5-1, and that's a potential error. We rolled a 12, so it probably won't be an error. 5-1 again, lined, caught by the second baseman, Doyle, 1 out. Next is Chris Chambliss. 1-5 at the ballpark. That's a 4-4, and that's a potential home run. And we roll the 20 versus a lefty. That's a deep drive into right field. Back goes Miller to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Chris Chambliss connects. And that'll be Chambliss's 12th home run of the season. 8-4 Yankees. Next is Carlos May. It's a 4-4, and that is against the lefty. That is a ball right up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. That's a 6-6. That's a potential home run. A 14 versus a lefty will not be a home run. So we're rolling off Nettles. It's a 5-5, and that's a fly ball deep right field. Back goes Miller to the track and makes the catch for out number 2. Back to first goes Carlos May. Here's Oscar Gamble with a 2-5. That's a potential walk. An 8 will be a walk. And let's see how many. All right, that's a 6-7, and he can go if he starts. Oh, he's past that. All right, we are going to pull Bill Lee. He's really struggling here. So we're going to pull Bill Lee and see who else we can get. We're going to have to fast forward to the next game to see who they were using. Yanks are up 8-4. This game is for a tie. If the Yankees win it, they tie, and they're tied for first place with the Red Sox. They need to hold on. They're up 8-4. Go to the next game. Let's see who the Red Sox are using in relief. Tom Murphy. Bring in Tom Murphy. There he goes. Pop him in. Tom Murphy. He's right there. All right, Willie Randolph against Tom Murphy. First and second, 2 out. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-4, and that's a blank. A roll off Randolph. Randolph with a 4-3, and that's fly ball left field. Rice, a few steps back, and makes the catch to retire the side. Bottom of the 7th, Ed Figueroa versus Butch Hopkins. That's a 6-2. That's a potential home run. And a 2. We will check off the home run. And a Hobson against a righty is a 9, so 9 or less. And it will not be a home run, so we're rolling to see what Hobson does. That's a 4-3. That's a little comebacker to Figueroa. Feels his position, throws out Hobson. 1-3, 1 out. Hope everybody's doing well, being safe. Bob Montgomery. That's a 3-3, and that's an error on the throw. 20 won't be. 4-4. That's a ground ball, second base. Randolph up with it. Over to first. 2 outs. Rick Burleson leading it off. 2 outs. 5-2. That's a potential strikeout, and a 10 will not be a strikeout. It's the bottom of the 7th. 8-4 Yankees. That's a 6-6. That's grounded to short. Mason waits back. Now charges. Throws on the run, and in time. Oh, just gets Burleson by half a step. Jimmy Mason leading it off here in the top of the 8th. Tom Murphy. That's a 2-6, and that's a range play. Range play 5. It's probably going to drop in there. Will it be past the second baseman? And it does get past the second baseman. Base hit for the light-hitting Jimmy Mason. Ever since I started calling him light-hitting Jimmy Mason, I think he's gotten a hit every single time. I swear to God. Eight to 4 Yankees. Top of the 8th. Mason's on at first. And it's Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers has 3 hits today. Pitch from Tom Murphy, 4-4. On Murphy's card, that's a potential walk. Rivers doesn't walk very much, so it won't be a walk. It's a 1-6, and that's popped up right side. Carl Yastrzemski's calling for it. Out number 1. Roy White. It's a 1-4. That's wild. A wild 2. That's a wild pitch. So over to second goes Mason. Here goes 2-4. And that's a tired single, so it's not going to be it. Again, this issue with the wild pitches, I don't remember if it's a wild pitch, do we go to the batter? I think we stay with possible wild pitch or pitch ball. No runners disregard the roll again. Pitch game. Roll. So that was a wild pitch. Keep on having issues with this. Does it go to the batter, or does it stay with the... all failed checks and blanks go to batter's card. All failed wilds and wild pitches, no runner on base, considered foul balls. If no direct outcome or a failed check comes up, go to the batter's card. All right, I'm going to the batter's card. 2-4. Roy White is going to be ground ball second base. This is going to move Mason to third. And it's Munson with a 2-3, and that's a potential K, and an 8 will not be against a righty will not be a K. So we're rolling. Oh, why do I have the wrong card there? What happened to Munson? What did I do with Munson? There we go. So Munson is up 4-3, and that's a ground ball to short. That retires the side. All right, Doyle. Bottom of the 8th. Let's see. Let's take a look at how many batters. 11, 14. How many batters Ed Figueroa has faced? 28. He can go 32. All right. It's going to be Doyle leading it off. Lynn and Yastrzemski against Ed Figueroa. Yanks are up 8-4. 4-2, and that's a potential strikeout. It won't be a strikeout. It's a 6-5, and that's popped up. Middle of the infield. Willie Randolph makes the catch. Fred Lynn is next. It's a snake eyes, question mark 14, double question mark 14. Off Fred Lynn, 5-3, and that's fly ball right field. Gamble on the run and tracks it down. Gamble got a nice jump on that. Carl Yastrzemski with a 2-4. Range play. See what happens. Oh, that's going to be caught 11. That's a fly ball. On an 18 is a 1-1. 1-1 is a fly to right, and Gamble backs up on the track and makes the catch, and that retires the side. All right, Roy White. Nope, it's going to be – why is White there? Hold on a second. Got mixed up. There we go. Chris Chambliss is up against Murphy. Let's see how many batters Murphy has faced. 8-4, top of the 9th. Murphy has faced only 5 batters. He's good. He can go 9. So here's Chris Chambliss. It's a 3-6. 3-6 is a blank. I don't need that green. That's only for range plays. It's a 5-2, and that's a fly ball center field. Lynn, can of corn, 1 out. Carlos May with a 6-2, and that's a righty single. But a lefty, we go off of May, 6-2, and that's going to be a fly to center. Again, Lynn. Lynn's gotten quite a few outs for the Red Sox today here at Fenway Park. Greg Nettles, 1-2. 1-2 is a blank. We're looking off Nettles. That's a 3-5, and that's a star line 2. A 1 is a grounder to first. Yastrzemski flips to Murphy covering on a 3-1, and that retires the side. We go bottom of the 9th. The Yanks have Lyle and Tidrow in the bullpen warming up. Figueroa is going to try to finish this out. Figueroa has gone 31. He can face 32. So here goes Ed Figueroa to Jimmy Rice. That's a 4-4. That's a blank. That's a 4-3 off Rice, and that is fly to left. High fly. Roy White makes the catch. Cecil Cooper's up next. That's a 2-5, and that's a K. A 14 will not be a K. It's a 4-2, and that is a star line 6, which is a fly to right. Oscar Gamble Yanks are 1 out away from being in a virtual tie with the Boston Red Sox for first place after 97 games. Rick Miller versus Ed Figueroa here with 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. 8-4 Yankees. Yanks 8 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. Boston 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. It's a 6-1 blank. 1-4 fly to right, and that's a drive. That's a drive to right field, and that will drop in and get by Gamble, and that's going to roll to the wall. Miller is going to try for 3. Here's the relay from Randolph, and tag is not in time, so it's a 2-out triple here in the bottom of the ninth. So the Red Sox stay alive, and it's Butch Hobson. It's a 3-1, and that's a potential K. A 6 will be a strikeout, and that's the ball game. Game is over. Let me double check the box score before I close it out. Ed Figueroa goes the complete game. Gives up 8 hits, 4 runs. Louis Tiant is going to get the loss. And that's about it. So we're going to close this out with the last out, which was a 3-1, which is a strikeout, I believe. And the Yankees win it. No, actually the Yankees have just taken over first place by half a game. The Yanks are 52-45. The Red Sox are 52-46. So the Yanks are up by half a game over the Red Sox in the American League East. The win's going to go to Ed Figueroa. He's 11-9. Tiant gets the loss. He's 12-8. Thurman Munson, the MVP with that 3-run home run early in the game. And Munson hit his 12th. Chambliss hit his 12th. Yastrzemski hit his 17th for the Red Sox. And that's about it for this game. So this is CP Cards and Dice. I hope you enjoyed it. And Yankees win it 8-4. They're in first place by half a game. Take care.